Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is F1 Fanatics. Welcome back to an episode of the F1 Podcast, the place where you can have discussions about Formula One. Maybe looking ahead to some races, like we are doing so this weekend with the Bahrain GP coming up. Places where Jonty sends us a question each week and we discuss an interesting topic. And then, of course, Stephen's rumours that could just be news and something we might just want to talk about, things that are happening.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly what the F1 podcast is. We just talk F1 for a period of time we're not quite sure about yet. You will know before we know by seeing how long the video is, and you've gone too long. Or long enough, as the case may be. But yes, there is only one place to start. And I guess we start with looking ahead to this weekend's action at Bahrain, a track that I'm a big fan of. Big fan of Bahrain. Think it's a great track.
Yes. Yeah. Do enjoy it. Ferrari obviously going to smash it, as they always do, with that fantastic car that they have had. And in recent history, it's been a stronghold for them.
Stop.
Okay.
There are Ferrari fans out there suffering. There are Ferrari fans who've had to endure the 2020 season. Don't do what you're doing to them.
P3, P4 last time out.
We would like to say that everyone here at F1 Fanatics, our DMs and comments are always open. That if you are struggling with how Ferrari have been this season, I think that recovered whatever you did. God, we're going to get in such trouble if you can't. What are you doing?
I mean, okay, so Mercedes, it has been Ferrari stronghold, but yeah, troubles 2020.
So Mercedes will win.
Yep, they should win. But the rest of the field, complete toss-up.
Absolutely, the fight
to be
for
fair,
third.
Ferrari could be in that fight for third because their car has been looking a lot more competitive. I know it was raining last time out in Istanbul, but still,
It still had been improving up until that
previous
stage.
races. Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
I'll give you that.
AlphaTauri were looking very strong in the dry. McLaren came back with a decent race last time out, but looked a bit iffy in dry conditions.
Yeah.
Renault looked great in dry, but bad last time out. Racing Point missed the consistency in Checo Perez.
Yeah,
though.
Perez is going Red Bull, give me a C.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is continuing conquest for the Red Bull seat. The right words.
Yeah, it is a conquest. And he shall conquer.
Alexander Albon.
Well, he's going to do that
The
easily.
boss.
That's not even
The
a challenge.
final boss.
Is it? Is that a challenge for him to defeat
Well,
Albon in the point standings?
Block. It's his own block.
No, I guess so.
But yeah, that's great. We won't have a battle for the lead, but the rest of the field being completely no predictions whatsoever is great.
Will be super.
Yeah.
Super. I think we're going to have some brilliant action at Bahrain. It generally is a pretty good circuit for overtaking.
Nice and wide.
Yeah, plenty of space on that front. So, yeah, I think we are going to have a good race here at Bahrain.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Fight for third. Okay, then. This could be a key weekend in the fight to third, because if, say, someone gets a double points finish and one of them gets a podium, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility in how 2020's gone in terms of, 12 different podium sitters this year?
Yep.
So 12 out of the 20 drivers on the grid have been on the podium. That's mental. But yes, so if you feel, I think we said it in last week's review of the Turkish Grand Prix, but I feel like this is Racing Points to lose.
Yes. Checo's P2 last time out was their one hand on the P3 trophy.
We're starting to sound like proper Arsenal fans now. It's the P3 trophy. It gets us Champions League Formula 1 next year, boys. Woo! Can't wait for it. We get to compete against the best teams in Europe, like Mercedes, and lose. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, one hand on it. And the form that Checo has been in is unbelievable. He has the car, and he's driving probably the best of his career at the moment, fighting for that seat. And you just can't see past them, really.
No, I can't. And Lance performed well, had the damage, like we said.
I would be...
Sorry, Tara's tail is...
I'd be very surprised if McLaren... It just in the dry. I don't.
Do you think McLaren could finish as low as 6th?
They got a pretty decent advantage over Renault last time out. So, and they do okay results. I think they could hang on to... They could hang on to P4, but maybe it's going to be a struggle if Renault turn up.
Yeah, if Renault have a great last 3 races, which enhance Daniel Ricciardo. And like we did say last time, Ocon was desperately unlucky in the last race because he got punted twice. One from his teammate and one from Bottas. And he did have a great recovery drive. And he will really be looking to kick up preparations for the 2021 season. So, I wouldn't discount Renault out of either because circumstances suiting. Could Daniel Ricciardo be in a position that he gets 3 podiums in the last 3 races? Potentially.
Maybe, yeah. I just can't see Checo on the form he's on at the moment.
I think so. But there is a real possibility that could happen in terms of Red Bull doing Red Bull, Bottas being Bottas. So at least one of those places becoming available. And yeah, I mean, 3 would be incredibly unlikely. But, you know, they do have the superstar driver, the best driver out of all 3 teams. Obviously, Charles Leclerc smashing Vettel is another question.
Ferrari are too far
off. Ferrari, yeah.
But if Ferrari aren't in the race for P3, but Charles Leclerc, one point is it? How many points?
3 points, I think.
3 points behind Checo. And then Ricciardo's right up there as well. So the
P4 in the championship.
Fight for P4, yeah.
That is
also
the
heating up.
Trophy.
And Ricciardo does have a much better shout at getting P4 than he does getting P3 of Renault. And yeah.
It would be incredibly impressive to do it with Renault.
Even if we don't have a race for the leads, we still have all these battles in the midfield.
There's intrigue for everyone. And
as they say, it's getting to the business end of the season.
It is getting to the business end of the season. I think it is exciting. And it was a bit like, you know, when we got to Abu Dhabi last year and there was overtakes of Carlos Sainz having to overtake Hülkenberg on the last lap and Sergio Perez overtaking as well to kind of get into the points. You know, there was some real action going down to the wire. Yes, the cameras on Sky TV
missed everything.
But if you watch it on F1 TV, you had a brilliant time because you had like the double commentary of Alex Jax and who else commented that?
You had split screens.
You had split screens. You had some mental about talking about it, but that was brilliant. I suppose a note to say congratulations to Alex Jax, who is obviously becoming the lead Channel 4 commentator.
Yes.
Now, I don't know, we were discussing this. Unless he has an incline into there's going to be more free-to-view F1 races in the future, is this a step backwards for Alex or a step forwards?
It's difficult because at the moment, F1 TV... they're all live races and he's the main commentator. Whereas Channel 4 have 1 live race a year and the rest highlights. But he's still going to be commentating as it's a live race. Yeah. But Channel 4 obviously, I feel is more prestigious than F1 TV.
Yeah.
In terms of your record, I feel being the head commentator on Channel 4 is more prestigious.
But is it? For us in the UK, yes. But F1 is a global sport. And F1 TV, Alex is the voice probably for a lot of people around the world.
Probably, yeah.
So is it then more prestigious? And with maybe the thoughts of F1 TV becoming maybe the dominant and maybe overtaking Sky Sports when the contract runs up, has he just lost his foot in the door? Don't know. But congratulations on the thing.
I can't answer that.
That is a question to put out there. Is it a step up for Alex Jacques, or is it a step backwards? Because obviously he had all the F2 and F3 commentary as well, and so now loses out on that. I don't believe he will be doing that unless I'm unheard of. Didn't really look into it too much, whether he retains that role with Sky and F1 TV. Don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows? There might be a little balance of contract because obviously Sky leased the highlights to Channel 4 for their highlights, so there might be a link there anyway. He might continue. You never know.
I bet he's getting paid tomorrow at Channel 4.
Yes, so he probably is financially better off. So money! Good job, Alex. But anything more to add to the preview? Will both Haas drivers finish this race?
That's your addition to the Bahrain preview. Will both Haas cars finish?
Well, they're fighting for IndyCar seats now.
I mean, they're not, are they? Grosjean's already got an IndyCar seat.
Has he?
And Magnussen hasn't got the money.
Already got a thing? We feel like he's got the Dale Coyne seat, but that isn't confirmed.
I mean, it's not going to be based on his F1 performance, is it? Dale Coyne aren't going to go, you didn't finish in those last 3 races because the Haas team are a mess.
Awful. No, that's true.
Oh, they forgot to put 2 wheels on your car at the pit stop. We're not going to give you that IndyCar seat.
Yeah, you make good points. Yeah. Will Kimi Räikkönen win Bahrain? That's what I'm going to add there.
No.
Will Alfa Romeo score points this weekend? Will George Russell score points this weekend?
Alfa no, George yes. Williams, progress. There was progress there.
Don't know what that was. Apologies for that. But yeah, George Russell. Okay, there's progress. Enough to get points.
Yeah. Nick a point. I reckon there's going to be a few crashes.
Okay.
Few bold overtakes that are going to go terribly wrong. Opens the door
he's going to need a few
for
more
Mr. Saturday, as they love calling him. And then they're going to call him Mr. Sunday, and he's going to score a point.
Okay. There you go. George Russell scored points. Anything more to add to the preview?
No.
That's it. That's done. Right. It is time then for Jonty's question. As always, if you watched F1 Fantasy yesterday, you'll know that we are now just going... We don't clip out these things. You get the full unedited version behind the scenes access of going, I'm going to go to my...
That's fun.
Twitter comments.
People love looking behind the scenes and stuff.
They do.
And now you get it. You just get it. You don't have to ask for it. We just give it to you.
We do.
And you should be honoured.
Right. So, the question from Jonty is, I don't have the exact question up, but basically how it worded was, which world champion had which of these seasons was the best for a world champion, but not in a world championship winning season?
Yes, that was it. Roughly around those spots.
Essentially. So,
give us an example.
An example would be Lewis Hamilton in 2007 not winning the championship, but it was an entertaining season because he lost out, just at the end.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Things happen.
And that is one of the examples. But we've got 10 examples given to us by Jonty with, obviously, his little inputs himself. And then we shall discuss and pick out of these 10 seasons which was the most entertaining by an F1 world champion, but not a world champion winning season.
Yes. Excellent.
Number one, Stephen, Jonty, you'll laugh at this. Stephen went, I bet you there'll be one about Mansell. 1986, champion Prost, best season Mansell. Blew the competition away at times, and if not for that iconic tyre blowout, would have won the title. It's a good season. It's a good candidate. 1993, champion Prost, best season Senna. Now, Jonty says, hear him out. Yes, 1989, Senna was brilliant, but in 1993, he was on another level. Donington, for an example. The McLaren he drove was the third best car, but he still won 5 races, finished runner-up, and led the championship for 5 races.
Impressive stuff.
It's a good season. It's up there. 1988, champion Senna. Best season, Prost. Simply put, how can you outscore your teammate and still not be champion?
Yes.
Won 7 races, and this season was one of the reasons that there was rule changes in the point system.
Yeah. Hard to argue.
Hard to argue. 1994. Champion, Schumacher. Best season, Damon Hill. Not only did Damon share a tragic coincidence with his father, but the tactics and bending of the rules tainted the win for Schumi. Damon gave one of the most underrated wet weather drives in Japan to keep his championship alive. Big one. Big one for Damon. Yeah. 2006, champion Alonso, best season Schumacher. A brilliant duel throughout, and considering Schumacher had to put up with in terms of being ousted from the team, he focused and showed the talent he still had, and also it was only due to Schumacher having an engine blowout in Suzuka that did give Alonso the title there.
Yeah.
So, a very good candidate. Here we go, 2007, champion Kimi, best season, Lewis Hamilton. I go back to this several times, and I'll always state that Lewis was on the podium in his first race and subsequent 6 races before taking his first win. If not for a bad strategy call, then he would be an 8-time champion. Ifs, buts, who, wouldas, maybes, coulda. We spoke about that last season. Didn't think it was.
Coulda.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It was a great rookie season from Lewis Hamilton. But if you put that up there was a great rookie season from Lewis Hamilton, then surely...
Where's Kimmy's?
Not rookie season. No. Surely, where is 1996 Jacques Villeneuve with his rookie season?
Jacques.
Because he has the equal best rookie season with Lewis Hamilton.
No one likes him.
All
Get
right,
out
fair
of
enough.
here.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Champion Vettel 2010, best season Alonso. It's always hard to pick which Alonso year was best, as the man was phenomenal. So again, I will go with an obvious choice, and another one where he won important races and was so close to title. It was another strategy call that cost him the title. Notable seasons: 1976 Hunt versus Lauda, 1984 Lauda versus Prost, and 1962 Hill versus Clark.
I mean, notable seasons. Are they contenders or are they just...
They're just notable seasons. They're not included in
If
this.
you're shouting at the screen with one of those dates, we've just given it to you. But we're not considering them.
No. Right.
Bam.
For me, I'm going for either Mansell, because he was very good in that season and the tyre blowouts unlucky. 1988 Prost has to be up there, surely. And I've got to do it for my man, Fernando Alonso. I've got to put him up there. But I think I'm going to go Mansell. I do honestly. Mansell is one of those guys who probably should have been a multiple world champion, competed against an incredible era against the Prost, the Sennas, the PKs of the world, and was right up there, wheel-to-wheel action, and was amazing to watch. And he was superb this season, even though the Williams was a superb car this season. How either Piquet or Mansell didn't win
it's ridiculous.
Is mental, and Prost, the accumulator, managing to win that season was impressive. So my vote is 1986 Nigel Mansell.
Just to confirm, they didn't call Prost the accumulator.
No, they called him. They called him Le Professeur. No, that was Wenger. They just called him the Professor.
Slightly better than the accumulator. Sounds a bit of an apple.
Yeah,
Professor's is a bit better.
It does. He's a 4-time world champion. Prost is class.
I was thinking Mansell
makes up for 1988.
Yeah. But I was thinking of 1988. Is that or 1993? It's either Prost or Senna. And the award goes to Prost. He got more points. I'm going to give it to 1988 Prost as the most entertaining championship that wasn't a championship from a world champion.
But the McLaren car was unbelievable that year, and yeah, it's crazy. I think it's because Senna had one more win, didn't he? That it worked on count back.
They didn't count all 11 races, I'm pretty sure. Races.
They don't count all the races. So they only counted your higher scoring 10, I think it was. And I think that's what I said. I think Senna had 8 wins and Prost had the 7 wins.
Yep.
So yeah, there we go. We've gone for 2 oldies but goldies. Prost and Mansell are our picks. But who are yours? Do you agree with our picks? Do you agree with what Jonty said? Please be nice to him. He comes up with great questions each week that cause great questions. So thank you again, Jonty, for another brilliant question to have some discussion over. I think all of those were entertaining seasons. But yeah, I always think Jacques Villeneuve's rookie season is massively underrated.
Jacques Villeneuve.
It's
Jacques
massively...
Villeneuve this. Jacques Villeneuve
Right. Jacques Villeneuve was a quality driver.
Let's call this F1 Jacques Villeneuve fanatics.
Well, because he can combine Indy and F1 fanatics. He won the Indy 500.
Yep.
One of the biggest races in the world.
Not F1.
Won the IndyCar Championship. Okay.
Not
Came
F1.
across to F1 in his rookie season. Had the best rookie season ever until Lewis Hamilton equaled it. Didn't better it. Equaled it in 2007. And won the World Championship in his second year like Lewis Hamilton. Yes, it was a very good car. But had to beat Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher as well. And Michael Schumacher, that was his prime years in my view. So, impressive. And Michael Schumacher had to decide that he was going to try and crash Villeneuve out to try and win the 1997 title. And obviously, Villeneuve, rest is history, won in Jerez, his 1997 title. Yes, obviously, Villeneuve's been questionable in some of his comments in the future. He maybe hasn't been the most endearing, but he is certainly a guy, a bit like Fernando Alonso, who made incredibly terrible car choices.
Yes, very much so.
If he had been he never, after his championship winning season, drove another championship winning car.
Yeah.
Or one that could at least challenge.
Luck was not with him.
No. So that would be one I would throw into the mix as well. I feel Jacques is underrated. You can check out the one we did with Cranky Yankee, who was the best one-time Formula One world champion from modern F1.
There we go. Check it out. Is there a card?
Might be a card. See if we can dump it up there. But yeah, there is Jonty's question for the week. So I guess we move on to Stephen's rumours or news stuff.
Yeah, a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I'll start off with Lewis Hamilton. The British tabloids are saying that he's confirmed going to get knighthood in the New Year's honours list.
Arise, Sir Lewis Hamilton.
I guess he's done a bit to deserve it.
Incredible. And I think obviously what he's done this year in terms of his voice and his social justice movement as well, standing up for what he believes in and trying to make the world a better place, and he uses his position of power. We're not perfect, and there'll be people who will tear holes in what he does, but Lewis Hamilton has a good heart and at least is trying to make the world a better place, as well as being an incredibly talented driver, being one of the best of all time and equaling Michael Schumacher's records. Well deserving of a knighthood.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Obviously unconfirmed yet, but all the tabloids are coming out with the story. So,
but we nod our head to you.
Probably going to happen, and yeah, definitely does deserve it. If it does happen. Next story, I was just thinking of it pre-podcast. I think I had in my head that AlphaTauri were going to confirm their lineup over the Bahrain races.
I feel they were, but I think that was before they gave Alex Albon to the end of the season.
But then I was thinking, I'm doing a lot of
Stop thinking!
I don't know the words.
It's hurting you.
But if they're going for Gasly, Yuki, and that's just their lineup, they're going to announce it. Maybe Albon's out of the question. Maybe Albon's already out of the question for that seat.
Potentially, yeah. And Albon's just fighting for his F1 future with Red Bull or Noble.
So that we could have an announcement, and if we do get an announcement like that, and then it is kind of bye-bye Albon.
Well,
then you never know.
I would imagine, I can't remember off the top of my head the F2, but obviously we're going to have another 2 races in the F2 calendar, and there's 2 back-to-back races to end the calendar. So, I think after this weekend, you'd have a pretty good idea whether Yuki's going to be in a position to secure that super license or not. Yeah. So if he is, bam.
Bam.
There you go.
So there we go. Haas, maybe they make a driver announcement over Bahrain?
I mean, I feel like it's the worst kept secret in the world that it's going to be Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin.
Yep. Although Schumacher won't be testing. We'll come on to who's doing the FP1 tests, but not in Bahrain.
In Abu Dhabi.
But that has been confirmed recently, so we can still talk about that. But yeah, Schumacher... Probably, maybe he'll do an FP1 in Abu Dhabi if they confirm the lineup during Bahrain. Who knows? And then, yes, FP1, it's confirmed that Schwartzman's going to be testing in a Ferrari. Probably Sebastian Vettel's Ferrari.
Definitely Sebastian Vettel's Ferrari.
And then Callum Ilott is going to be for Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
Because I guess Haas went, we don't want him.
And I suppose... probably talking about Ferrari Juniors is a sad love affair coming to an end in terms of Sebastian Vettel saying the love is lost between him and the team. You know, that is one of those stories where you have a dream, he's worked his way up through the ranks, he's become a world champion, he gets the move to his heroes team Ferrari, and the saying always is, never meet your heroes. Well, he met his hero and he turned out he was pretty good, and Schumacher and Vettel had a thing. So that's rubbish. But it turns out the saying should be, never move to the team that your hero raced for and try to emulate them, especially if they are Ferrari, because there is a high probability that they could muck things up.
I feel like it's slightly less catchy.
It is, actually, yeah. But that might be the new saying.
That might be the new saying.
It's going to catch on like wildfire. You just watch. You see it. Everyone will be like tweeting, oh, I guess you got to learn that you don't join the team that your hero won world championships for to emulate the success. But it won't work out that way because, especially if they're Ferrari, they might muck things up.
Excellent.
It's the same.
Fantastic.
It's a thing. Maybe.
Yes.
Potentially.
Back to the stories.
Back to the stories.
Actually, I don't think
more up the bag, or
I don't think we've had Lewis Knighthood, possibly AlphaTauri announced and driver lineup, possibly Haas announced and driver lineup, but nothing on Red Bull because they've given Albon till the final lap of Abu Dhabi, so we won't hear anything of that until 3 weeks' time.
Nice. Well, that is it for another the F1 podcast. We hope you've enjoyed, as always, discussions talking about Formula 1. Jonty's question, a discussion of things going on in the world roundup of Formula One. If Stephen's missed a glaring news story, we apologise profusely. But just comment down below. Well, I'm sure we can discuss it in other podcasts. There is no time frame. There is always things that we can talk about in the F1 podcast. And don't forget, if you're an IndyCar fan or interested in IndyCar or haven't heard of IndyCar really and want to discuss a little bit more, we're going to be discussing in the IndyCar podcast out in 5 hours' time if you're in the UK, discussing the 2021 calendar and what best suits. Obviously, Tony Kanaan getting the oval seats in the number 48 car for Chip Ganassi Racing, and just probably some other.
And Ferrari!
For you F1 fans, be interested, potentially some interesting news regarding Monza. Oh, but that's it from us today, guys. As always, if you're new around here or haven't done so already, what can they do, Stephen?
You can like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it! But that's it from us. So you F1 fans, keep racing.